They like to strut their stuff. It might be in Russia, it might be in New York City, it might be in Kansas City, it might be in LA. But regardless of the fact, we're talking about what people stand for. I stand for freedom. I don't stand for South Africa. I don't stand for anything else but the right thing. It might be the wild thing. It might be a crazy thing. But it's the right thing. And Ivan, my friend, my pal, don't you know what's going on in the world today? Don't you see? Why can't you make the change?
Ivan Koloff doesn't like a young punk shooting off his mouth, no matter what country he is from, but especially from America. You know, you say you are the greatest amateur wrestler there is, like Steve Ray, the Wild Thing. I'm going to tell you something, young punk. I know more than my little finger about wrestling than you'll ever know, and I'm going to teach you some of that.
UWF, the Universal Wrestling Federation. This is the Fury Hour.
And welcome to the UWF Fury Hour. Hi again, everybody. Craig DeGeorge and wrestling's living legend, Bruno Sammartino. We've got a great action-packed, star-studded hour of wrestling excitement coming your way. Our feature match, Steve Wild Thing Ray and Ivan Koloff. Bruno?
You know, Greg, you have Ivan Koloff, the veteran, who knows every trick in the book, tough in every sense of the word. But this young guy, Steve the Wild Thing Ray, this guy's very energetic, good shape, quick. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting match, and this guy's going to give Koloff some problems.
All right, for more on the evening, let's go to Herb Abrams.
Craig, before we get to tonight's show, I am pumped up, I am jacked up. We're 48 hours away from being in New York City. New York City, a night of main events. That's right, Wednesday, January 9th in New York City. But tonight, we have a card for you that's unreal. Here's tonight's lineup. Craig and Bruno will start off with the despicable and notorious South African Colonel De Beers. An angry Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, in a tune-up match before his New York battle with Dr. Death. B. Brian Blair, also an angry warrior, takes on Cutie Pie Louis Spicoli. And then it's the UWF debut of Barry O taking on the Ultimate Indian, Chief J. Strongbow. Don the Rock Morocco gets ready for his New York battle with Greg the Hammer Valentine in a tune-up match. And the feature, the notorious Russian Bear Ivan Koloff, grapples with the very popular Wild Thing, Steve Ray. And another walk on the bizarre side in Captain Lou's corner. Also, another fan gets his question answered on Ask the Wrestlers. And we'll tell you how you can get the latest UWF wrestling information on the new UWF hotline. You know, these fans are late getting to tonight's match, but it's not too late to be a part of the UWF's exciting week in New York City. It begins with the Rumble in the Big Apple on Wednesday, January the 9th at the Penta Hotel at 7:30 p.m. Ticket information is available by calling 516-587-4UWF. On Thursday night, another great card that we'll be announcing this week. On Friday, the UWF Sports Bar Party at the Sports Bar on Broadway. That's on 78th Street in New York City. Then Saturday, the Big Fan Expo at the Royce Hotel in Queens, New York from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then the Rumble on Long Island Saturday night at St. John of the Baptist High School in West Islip, Long Island, beginning at 8 p.m. See you in New York.
Colonel De Beers, Greg, against Ricky Ataki. Now, you've seen Ataki. You've seen him, for a few weeks. And he's a tough competitor. The question is, what can he do against a man, you know, so tall, 295 pounds, so experienced? I don't know, you know, but hey, let's face it though, Ricky Ataki, to his credit, no matter who he goes in there with, he gives everybody a really tough time.
He cannot be underestimated, Bruno. And by the way, Happy New Year to you and to all of you out there watching the UWF. And of course, we are only a few days away from the big one at the Penta. If you live in the greater New York area or you want to fly in for a terrific card, and we'll be running it down throughout this program. It's coming up on Wednesday, January the 9th at the Penta, right across the street from Madison Square Garden, and one of the best cards New York has ever seen. And we will be running that down for you. But we've got some great action the next hour, and we're glad you have joined us here on Sports Channel America on the Fury Hour. Colonel De Beers and Ricky Ataki. De Beers out of South Africa, and going to work right away on Ataki.
Ataki reverses that arm bar, but he gets caught with a knee right in the stomach.
And the head of the turnbuckle, Ataki hits the canvas. Now, he has shown signs of brilliance, Ataki. The problem is the consistency of it, and generally his opponents have been able to wear him down.
Well, but the other, did you see what
headbutt to the gut,
right in the midsection? But the thing is, you know, you've seen Ataki against some of the toughest wrestlers anywhere, and so, you know.
De Beers is caught there. Oh, what a great move.
Boy,
Came around with a big right foot.
You know, to Ataki's credit, he did catch De Beers' foot as he tried to kick, but he came right up with the 295 pounds, and he just kicked up in the air and caught on the side of the head with the other, with his right leg.
That is very impressive. That's agility.
Absolutely.
Colonel De Beers. You can't be impressed with what the man stands for by any means. He is a really disgraceful South Africa mercenary.
You know, I got to say, Greg, you know, you wished everybody a Happy New Year, and of course those wishes for me too. But I'm so thrilled that what a way to start the new year for me is to go back to New York City where I wrestled for 23 years.
Is that right?
I headlined Madison Square Garden 211 times in my career.
Wow.
And to be going back and seeing some of those fans, that's a great thrill for me. And what a thrill it is for them, really, because of what they're going to see. How about the match between Orndorff and Dr. Death Steve Williams? Is that a main event or what?
It's been building up and building up, and we've seen Orndorff. In fact, we will see him this hour as well.
He is a man possessed. He is such a bitter man. You know,
fans will get to see what kind of determination Orndorff has. Only a week away from that big battle against Dr. Death here, and of course in person, it's coming up on January the 9th.
Meanwhile, look at De Beers. He's down. Let's see, where's Ataki right now? Ataki climbs on the top rope. Will he land on him?
He's dangerous from up there, Bruno. Look at De Beers.
Oh, and he did it. Is this it? Let me see.
That should put him away.
We should be covering him.
That should put him away. There's one, two.
Whoa, kicked out. How about that?
Boy, you're not going to see a better leg drop from the top rope than Ataki did, but he did take his time, very complacent.
Yeah, but still in all, you have to give De Beers credit because he still was able to get up after Ataki took his time, but he connected very solidly, and still De Beers was able to kick out.
You know, you don't get that many chances either out of De Beers.
Yeah, but look what's coming up now. Look at this. He's going to put 295 pounds behind the neck of
and slams it right down.
Right on his face.
Wow. And he has that state of emergency, and here it is. And the sirens are sounding for Ayaki, and they're going to have to take him out. Wow.
DDT.
Ricky Ataki going down to the hands of Colonel De Beers, but once again, not without putting up a fine battle.
Oh, he certainly did. He put up a tremendous fight, but at the end, the power, the experience, the viciousness of De Beers, and he's victorious again.
Herb Abrams is roaming around the ring, and let's go to him now for the latest with the Colonel. Herb?
Colonel De Beers! Colonel De Beers! Was mit dir? Ich bin der Weltmeister. Was machst du?
You know, you are a despicable human being.
Listen here, Herb Abrams. I have seen some of the women you go with. Your dentist should be the least of your worries.
With only one eye.
No one despicable. You should know oneself.
I don't know what you could see with only half an eye.
I'm disabled. I'm a war veteran and I'm disabled. The war in Rhodesia cost me my eye. But it's gonna cost you Americans a lot more, because the wrath of Colonel De Beers is coming out because of the flank attack by that Negro.
That Negro's gonna meet you in New York in 2 days, and Iceman Parsons is not to be reckoned with.
See, Colonel, what you don't understand is this man here is a referee. He's not a fighter. You got football referees. These kind of shirts here mean referees, brother. You want to fight, grab on this 250 pound of sex appeal and love to fight and can get down for real. See, that thing you're talking about over there in Africa, that's why people now then woke up about that. That gimmick went out years ago. This is the 90s, fool. So when you start picking on him, you start picking on family, and blood is thicker than mud. In other words, punk, it's a family affair. So beat up on me now. Like Mama says, see, I'm here for a reason and not for a season. Can you dig it? Have mercy.
Colonel De Beers will have to take on Iceman King Parsons in a very hostile New York environment at the Rumble in the Big Apple on Wednesday night at the Penta Hotel. An angry Paul Mr. Wonderful Orndorff is next on the Fury Hour.
Jack Patton, publisher of Business Week.
I'm proud that so many leading companies advertise in our pages. American Express, AT&T, General Motors. Business Week ad pages read like a who's who of business. Why? Because successful companies want to reach successful people. Just look at the numbers. I'm just as proud of our readers, too. They help make Business Week the world's #1 business magazine. They know it's the best source for objective reporting and analysis of the week's business news. Whether you've already arrived or on the way up, you should subscribe to Business Week right now. You will be an excellent company.
Subscribe now and get 32 issues of Business Week for just $24.95. With your paid subscription, Business Week will send you this compact databank absolutely free. More than a calculator, the databank also stores all your important phone numbers. It's free with your paid subscription.
To order, call toll-free 1-800-841-0300. That's 1-800-841-0300.
See the legends of the game and today's brightest stars showcase their talents when we present exclusive coverage of the heroes of hockey and the skills competition. NHL All-Star Night, live at 7:30 Eastern on Sports Channel America, January 17th. 1-900-896-2333. The Sports Channel America Sports Hotline for all the scores.
In a 3-2 overtime thriller.
For sports news.
Some big free agent signings today.
1-900-896-2333 is all you need. 24 hours a day, every day. Get late-breaking results and news on your favorite sport.
For basketball, press 1 now.
1-900-896-2333. The Sports Channel America Sports Hotline. Call today. Stay with Sports Channel America every night after the main event and get the latest news, interviews, scores, and highlights from the world of sports. Sports Nightly. See it exclusively on the Sports Channel America Network tonight.
You just think about it, Dr. Des. You think for 1 minute that you're going to interfere in one of my matches and Pearl Harbor me with a chair, brother, you are mighty wrong. And we are going to take this battle there in New York City, the Big Apple. And everybody in New York City knows what Mr. Wonderful can do. They know what he's done. They know the people that he's hurt. They know that I'm a good guy. And they know when it comes to being nasty, when it comes to being mean, when it comes to bending the rules, that I can bend them better than anybody, Dr. Death. It's not going to be a wrestling matches, my friend. You come and you load all your barrels. And, brother, when it's all over and done with, you aren't going to have time enough to pull that trigger. So you think about it. You think about it, buddy. You think for 1 minute you're going to make a name for yourself. Well, my friend, the war is on right now, and it's you and I in that ring. And all hell is going to break loose in New York City, Doc.
Mr. Wonderful, Greg. There's a man that's really possessed. I'll tell you, I've never seen an angrier man.
In 2 days, he will face one of the biggest matches of his life. That'll be at the Penta. when he takes on Dr. Death, Steve Williams. But he has been a poised man, and he knows he has to get by Al Lyon right here before he goes up against Dr. Death, and you'll see that next week.
He didn't even take his robe off, Mr. Wonderful, and he attacked this Al Lyon like it was Steve Williams. I think he is so upset, so angry that anybody at all that he's faced since that incident with Williams, he's just attacking with such vicious. Now, I'll tell you what, I haven't seen Orndorff with this kind of anger in quite some time, and that's why, can you imagine when he and Dr. Death, Steve Williams, meet in New York, I think that this is going to be the war of wars. I really do.
Man with a vengeance, Bruno.
Oh,
and, you know, right now, the unfortunate recipient of all of that is Al Lyon.
Lyon's probably saying, what are you taking it out on me for? What did I do? And look, he's going right for the power driver. I mean, Lyon never got to do anything. Orndorff came in from the very beginning and just attacked this man and pulverized him. What a puff. Hey, I'll tell you what, if he catches if he catches Steve Williams with that foul driver, that'll be the end of the match.
And that's it. That quickly, Bruno.
Absolutely.
He went right to work. As you mentioned, and Lyon never had a chance to even catch his breath. Well, he didn't even break a sweat, did Al Lyon. And now somebody threw another Dr. Death shirt at Paul Orndorff, and Herb Abrams is right on top of the entire scene for us. And in fact, he's hopped right in the middle of the ring. Let's go to him.
Paul Orndorff, you're an angry man. I don't even want you near me. You pushed me last time I interviewed you. I don't even want you near me. We're 2 days away, 48 hours from you meeting the match that you demanded with Steve Dr. Death Williams. What are your feelings on it, Paul?
Let me tell you something right now, baby. Let me tell you something, Doc. I know you're out there somewhere, brother. We're 2 days away from it. Now, you just think about what you did and what you just started. This is kind of like the Middle East, you know, but it's you and I right here in New York, baby. It's going to happen. And I don't mind telling you right now, Doc, I'm a little upset, and I might not be a real nice guy sometimes, but I'm going to tell you when I step into that ring that all hell is going to break loose. And I'm telling you, brother, somebody is going to get hurt. And I don't mind telling you. If it means picking a chair up, if it means getting a cane from a little old lady, then I'll do just that. But it really doesn't matter to me anymore, because I haven't forgot the stitches right here in my head, my friend. You think about it, because I've thought about it now for the last month. The match has been signed. New York, your town, your area, Paul Orndorff, but not your rules. That's right, in the big squared circle. You and me. You might have walked out, you might have stood up, and you might have been able to get out of that arena last time, Paul. Well, next time, it might be a broken leg. It might be a broken arm. But Paul Orndorff, don't you dare take an eye off of me. Don't you dare turn your back on me. Because I will. And that's a promise to everybody. I will hurt you for good.
And what a match that's going to be. Dr. Death against Paul Orndorff at New York's Penta Hotel, Wednesday, January the 9th at 7:30 p.m. This attraction alone is worth it all.
275 pounds. That's a big man, Greg. But how about 469 pounds?
What is that, then?
What it means is this ring is going to be in trouble if these two guys start slamming each other. There's a lot of beef in there.
If Morocco is a big man, what do you call Cooley, an apartment complex, or what is he? He's 200 pounds larger than Don Morocco. That's almost hard to believe.
Yeah, well, the one thing from what I've seen of the Jerry Cooley, he's a big man, no question about it. I don't know how long he's been wrestling professionally, but what I did notice about him is he's a big, huge guy, but he's not the most experienced guy that you've ever seen. So that will certainly be a handicap against the likes of a Morocco, who has been around for a long time and has held so many different titles, and we know what he can do.
Do you have to change your strategy if you're The Rock than normal when you're going against a guy who's 200 pounds more than you?
Well, he's going to fill him out. He's going to find out. He's going to do little things in there just to fill the guy out to see what the guy has, what he doesn't have. There's a nice drop toe hold. Now, see, 275 pounds, but still has that quickness, doesn't he? And, you know, you fill a guy out, and after a while, it doesn't take long for a pro like Morocco to just get a good feel as to the pluses and the minuses of the individual, and then he goes accordingly.
Cooley right now is feeling the effects of Morocco's pluses, and Morocco's on top of them. Had that toe hold, but that has been released, and now you see Cooley holding onto the rope, so Morocco will have to back up. Cooley now. Oh, my. Midsection shots.
See, Cooley's such a big guy. He has to learn how to use that weight. If he can learn how to use that weight and use it well, then he can do some damage. Because when you weigh close to 500 pounds like that, if you really know how to learn how to use that weight, there's no question about it. It can be a tremendous advantage to you. But if you don't, and if another person knows how to work around you, as the saying goes, a guy like that can be worn down and he'll get tired.
Did have a nice move there by going into the ropes, but now he's whipped into the ropes himself. Morocco's trying to size up what to do and slowly goes into him. Now again, the Irish whip in. And, oh! He turned him over.
Back body drop like that. Now, the guy that's that heavy, he feels it even more because with all that weight come crashing down on that back, that's, there's two immovable object here. He's standing.
Comes on top of him to put him away. Yes.
A flying body press. How do you like that? Two tackles didn't knock him down, but Morocco comes up with a flying body press and held him down for the count.
Yeah, two great moves. First, that back body drop, and then the flying maneuver. And Don Morocco, very efficiently taking care of Terry Cooley.
Captain Lou's Corner is next.
That ring is your link to all the news and goings-on in the Universal Wrestling Federation. Find out where the UWF is going to be next. And hear comments from your favorite UWF wrestlers like Paul Orndorff, Dr. Death, B. Brian Blair, and yes, even Colonel De Beers. Just dial 1-900-420-4UWF and find out about the Universal Wrestling Federation.
This is the Golden Greek speaking, and when I travel in style, man, all the way. Look at this beauty. Look at this, the Midnight Express limousine. Beautiful, classy, first class, the ultimate in traveling. This is what the Golden Greek does, travel in first class. Take a look at this, the Midnight Express beauty. Take a look inside. All the comforts of home, television, telephone, a little refreshment, comfortable ride. What do you need? And it sits everybody comfortably. Remember, the Golden Greek tells you, Midnight Express limousine, the ultimate in limousine service. And if you heard it from the Greek, you heard it from the top man.
Glenn Miller's Pennsylvania 65000, a jazz classic, and the phone number to a New York classic, the Pennsylvania Hotel, now the newly renovated Penta Hotel. The Penta is located in one of New York's most dynamic areas, just blocks from the city's highlights, and across the street from Madison Square Garden. No matter what your needs are, Pennsylvania 65000 is the number for one of the most legendary hotels in New York, the Penta Hotel.
Hi, wrestling fans. It's week. It's Captain Lou Albano back again with the Captain's Corner. We have oddities in the world of professional wrestling. Right now, I'm going to interview a fella called Cutie Pie. Why Cutie Pie? Cutie Pie. Can I ask you, sir, why you used the name Cutie Pie? Why you couldn't go as your own name? I mean, what's the purpose of...
You're asking me. You have hair all over your face. You got rubber bands on your forehead, and you're asking me why they call me Cutie Pie? Maybe we should ask you the question why they don't call you Cutie Pie. Just take one look at me, Captain. One look.
You give a young punk once a little bit of energy, and there he goes trying to over. What? I'm asking you why you use the name Cutie Pie instead of your own name. Just get back to the basic answer.
Well, first of all, look at this face. You cannot tell me I'm not cute. You cannot tell me I am not the best-looking man in the UWF.
Oh, you're very cute.
Oh, you got Paul Warendorf. Maybe he's a good wrestler, but he's an ugly guy. You got guys like Wild Thing. He's a good wrestler, but he's an ugly guy. He's a bottle blonde, Captain Lou. This is real blonde hair.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's why I'm Cutie Pie. Now, you want to ask me...
You know, wrestling fans, you come out here at times and you do have the oddities in the world of professional wrestling. This is a great sport. But occasionally you got a guy, like I said, with the brain of a dehydrated baby, keep your hands to yourself, that comes out here and tries to insult the host, Captain Lou Albano. But when I look at this man and you use the word Cutie Pie, I've got to say, he certainly is a cutie pie. That's in my book. Anything else to say?
You've been eating stale spaghetti you're going to throw
No,
up?
I've had a little garlic.
Oh, God. You're telling me.
Wrestling fans, it's Captain Lou, baby, with the Captain's Corner. And as I said, every once in a while, I've got to interview an oddity. And I happen to have the big, the tall, the fat, the small. And every once in a while, I get a Cutie Pie. And here he is standing at my side, all 5'11", 270 pounds. You're not in the ring with me, brother. Just remember yourself. Keep your mind clear because you need it, and you're not dealing with a full mind. But here's a man that goes as Cutie Pie. Go ahead, Cutie. Tell us a little more.
Well, okay, Captain. You got a little baby, right? Little baby in its bassinet. He's real cute, isn't he? Or you got a little puppy dog. You got a little puppy dog just born. He's real cute, isn't he? And then you got me, Cutie Pie Louis Spicoli. Louis Spicoli's the name.
Wrestling fans, when you talk about Louis Spicoli...
But a baby doll or a baby dog, they can't harm you. But I'll crush you.
The man is soft. He's as soft as a marshmallow baby in a 380-degree oven. When you talk about soft, this man is the king of soft.
Soft. King of cute.
UWF box office, the Rumble in the Big Apple. Here's the rundown of the night of main events. Paul, Mr. Wonderful Orndorff, will take on Steve, Dr. Death Williams. AWA champion Larry Zbyszko will put his title on the line against David Sammartino. B. Brian Blair will take on Cowboy Bob Orton. Colonel De Beers has agreed to take on Iceman King Parsons in a very controversial match. And Steve Wild Thing Ray will take on the Russian Bear, Ivan Koloff. Bruto, what a fantastic array of matches this is going to be.
This is an incredible card, really. This is, I'll tell you what, I don't know when New York has seen a more impressive card than this one. I mean, every one of these matches is a main event. Of course, when you start off with Orndorff and Dr. Death Steve Williams, I mean, what more can you say about this match with these two individuals? But then if you go down the list, the rest of these matches just named, every one of these matches can be a main event in any arena, in any city in the United States. So New York, you're in for a real treat.
Also, Greg the Hammer Valentine takes on Don the Rock Morocco. On Thursday night, our yet-to-be-announced card, call the hotline for details. On Friday, at the Sports Bar on Broadway, the UWF party with all your favorite UWF wrestlers in attendance. Then on Saturday, it's the Fan Expo for autographs, pictures, and handshakes at the Royce Hotel at LaGuardia Airport. And on Saturday night, in West Islip, Long Island, it's the first UWF Rumble on Long Island. And for weekly, up-to-date information on what's happening in the UWF, New Yorkers can turn to WBAB 1240 AM for Pro Wrestling Spotlight.
Cable's biggest stars. Cable's biggest performances.
I can pay the caps too.
Cable's biggest moments.
Douglas coming back with a lucky
Cable's biggest night.
The ace goes to...
James Woods hosts the Ace Awards, live on 8 cable networks simultaneously. Sunday, January 13th at 9 Eastern.
Tuesday on Sports Channel, Reggie Theus and the Nets travel to Chicago, looking to stop the gravity-defying air show of Michael Jordan and the Bulls. The Nets clash with Chicago Tuesday at 8:30, live and exclusive on Sports Channel.
T-minus 10 seconds and counting. T-minus 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. We have liftoff.
Get
ready to launch yourself into the world of Air and Space Smithsonian, a world that captivates the imagination. Satellites, superjets, soaring, something different every other month.
This is Starboard. Booster separation.
There's no other magazine like Air and Space Smithsonian. Call now and subscribe to a full year of fun, excitement, and mind-boggling photographs. And with your subscription comes membership in the National Air and Space Museum in Washington. So begin your countdown by calling now.
This is Starboard. Permission to use your phone?
To order Air and Space Smithsonian Magazine, call 800-841-0300 and receive a full year, 6 issues for just $18 with membership in the National Air and Space Museum. Call 800-841-0300 now.
You know, 10 years ago, right here in New York, I retired the greatest wrestler of the time, Bruno Sammartino. And it's kind of ironic that his own flesh and blood, the reason he stabbed me in the back, is going to get the same treatment in the same town. You know something, David? Here's your chance, kid. Here's your chance to look death in the face and spit in its eye. Here's your chance to stand on the threshold of your dream, grab reality, look up to the heavens and say, God, I've solved the secrets of life, and you get to stand face to face with the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. And you get to look eye to eye with the same man who retired your father. And you're going to meet the same fate. And you're going to reside within the same legacy of the Sammartinos at the hands of the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
It's time again for Ask the Wrestlers, where you can win a free UWF t-shirt and cap if we use your letter. And Emilio Hall of Philadelphia is this week's winner with his question to Captain Lou Albano. Emilio wants to know if Larry Zbyszko is a threat to Bruno Sammartino. Zbyszko's been a source of concern for the Sammartino family.
Well, Emilio, I can agree with you wholeheartedly. But let's remember, Bruno Sammartino is retired from the world of professional wrestling. So I don't think Zbyszko should be bothered with Sammartino. I don't think that's even going to enter his mind. Right now, he should be concerned with people like David Sammartino, who will be wrestling on the 9th of January at the Penta Hotel in New York City. I believe there are enough tough opponents in the Universal Wrestling Federation for Larry Zbyszko to be concerned with. He doesn't have to worry about Bruno. However, I'm always there at Bruno's side if I can help, and I don't believe my support with Bruno would need me. Thank you very much for your letter. Emilio, you're a great guy. Keep writing.
For using his question, Emilio wins a UWF t-shirt and cap. And you can too. For a chance to get your question on the air, just send a postcard with your name and address and question to Ask the Wrestlers, 702 Washington Street, Marina Del Rey, California, 90292. A reminder, the UWF hotline is your link to all the news and goings-on in the Universal Wrestling Federation. Find out where the UWF is going to be next. And hear comments from your favorite UWF wrestlers like Paul Orndorff, Dr. Death, B. Brian Blair, and yes, even Colonel De Beers. Just dial 1-900-420-4UWF and find out all you need to know about your favorite wrestling organization, the UWF.
That was more like a power plex there, Bruno. He stayed with him and brought him right around.
But look what's coming. Here it is. Here's the Scorpion.
This is it.
Yep.
This is the Scorpion, the combination of the figure. Oh! Bob Orton is entering the ring.
Oh, for crying out loud. Now, wait a minute.
Oh, boy, he cuts down.
This is exactly what happened the last time when Honey got hurt.
But it changed this time, Bruno, because this time B. Brian Blair is landing several rights.
Didn't work.
This is
Blair's
redemption.
getting the best of it.
Redemption at his finest for Blair. He throws him into the corner. He has him in a sleeper.
The sleeper. He's got... Oh, look who came in. John Tolis, the manager.
And Tolis comes down and knocks down Blair.
3 weeks ago, another mugging took place in the ring. Again, the perpetrators were Cowboy Bob Orton and his treacherous manager, John Tolis. And again, the victim was B. Brian Blair, who weeks before saw his manager, Honey, headbutted into a concussion by the same dirty, rotten scoundrels.
He's holding him up. and he brings him down. And B. Brian Blair is taking a beating here, 2-on-1, no help at all. Referee out of control here.
Come on, why doesn't somebody do something here? Where's some of Blair's friends here?
Oh, man, the referee now elbow drop. This could be even worse for Blair.
Do you believe this,
No one's going to stop it now.
Do you believe this, Tolis, though? This is what he demands of his men.
And look at the smirk on his face, too. Orton continues to just hammer away.
He took his belt out. He's going to start whipping.
He's got the foreign object. He's whipping it with a belt.
Oh, man.
There was just no need for this.
It was a brutal assault until Captain Lou Albano came charging into the ring to aid Blair.
Has the scorpion. And the stinger. And I think he got Tolis. Did he get him, Bruno?
Yes, I think he jabbed Tolis with it. Then Tolis jumped right out of the ring and Horton took off.
Those dirty, rotten scoundrels have done it again. Brian Blair is right here, and I want to know your thoughts on Cowboy Bob Orton and John Tolis on what they did to you, Brian.
Well, Herb, you know, I've got a lot of thoughts right now, and it seems to me like Orton and Tolis wanted to embarrass me.
They sure
did. You know, right here on national television. And, you know, I haven't been beat with a belt since I was a kid, and I remember now why I was beat when I was a kid, Herb. And that was to knock a little sense in me. And I guess that's exactly what they did now. You know, they kind of knocked a little sense into me because before, you know, maybe I thought I didn't like them. You know, they hurt me a lot when Orton attacked Honey, and the whole incident, you know, has been nonstop. And now that, you know, that I've taken a real licking, I know exactly how I feel about you, Orton. You've knocked a lot of sense into me. You beat a lot of sense into me. But let me tell you something. For every ounce of pain that I felt, for every ounce of pain that Honey's felt, for every ounce of frustration that the fans have felt, for every ounce of pain and frustration that I feel right now, you will pay by the pound. You understand what I'm saying, Bob Orton Jr.? You understand what I'm saying, John Tolis? Because, yeah, I'm not by myself right now. I've got somebody to watch my back, and I promise you that these people will watch my back. So now, why don't you meet me face to face? I'll see you real soon.
B. Brian Blair, here he comes. Oh, look at this. Look at this.
Honey.
Honey's with him, and of course, there's the captain.
It is good to see Honey out there.
Yeah, I'm sure. In fact, I'll tell you the truth, I'm surprised to see her.
I didn't expect her either. Honey is there. Look who else is there. Captain Lou Albano, accompanying B. Brian Blair. And, of course, we talk about Honey, the situation several weeks ago. The headbutt from the top ring by Cowboy Bob Orton. And Honey has recovered in a few weeks. She had a mild concussion. She was definitely shaken up. This is her first time back near the ring.
But here again, Greg, that's another match we're going to see in New York. B. Brian Blair versus Cowboy Bob Orton. Now, you know, as the old saying goes, there's no love lost between these two. In fact, there's an awful lot of hate. And again, this is going to be a war between these two very, very talented wrestlers. And it'll be interesting to see what the Golden Greek and Captain Lou happens since they'll be in the corner of these two people.
Captain Lou says he will keep his eye on the Golden Greek. That means you can't take your eye off him. B. Brian Blair and Cutie Pie in the ring. And you talk about, you know, we talked about Orndorff being determined. Here's another case of a guy being determined. B. Brian Blair.
Oh, extremely. After all, look what happened to Honey as a result of Bob Orton's mighty blow there. And he's extremely upset about that. And he just can't wait till he gets in the ring with him. Meanwhile, look at these tackles. Look at the speed. He's really buzzing in there, isn't he?
He can't be stopped. Yes, sir.
Oh, look at this.
Oh,
woo.
Cutie Pie took a nasty fall to the hard floor.
Not too cute coming out of that ring.
No.
Not too cute at all. But again, just thinking, getting back to this New York thing for a second, talking about Cowboy Bob Orton and B. Brian Blair. But how about this? Greg Valentine versus Don Morocco. And a title match. That is Zabisco's putting up his AWA title against my son, David Sammartino. This is, you know, every match here is a main event. It really is.
You notice some anxious moments lately for David Sammartino?
Well, look at, you know, look, he's my kid. Naturally, I tried to be, you know, like a commentator here.
Excuse me, great suplex there by B. Brian Blair. And the elbow drop, and
Cutie Pie is getting, getting a shellacking right now. Hey, clever move.
Now, body slam. Good scoop slam by B. Brian Blair. Elbow drop, nobody home. Good move by Cutie Pie. Got out of the way quickly.
Absolutely.
And lands an elbow of his own.
Yes, a beautiful elbow of his own. a choke.
But getting back to that point, yeah, Bruno.
Well,
David,
the point is that, you know, he's my son, but let's forget that aside for a second. There's of course real bad feelings between these two, very, very bad feelings. But David, I'll have to say this, David is a very aggressive, he's a gutsy young guy, and he dislikes Larry Zbyszko, because Larry Zbyszko dislikes the San Martino's, period.
All right.
But I think this is going to be a tremendous wrestling match. Who's going to win? Naturally, you know who I want to see win, but I'm not going to predict that because it can go either way. Zbyszko, of course, he's the champion, so I guess he might even be the favorite.
I know you will have a fair call behind the microphone as well. B. Brian Blair, meanwhile, getting out of the way, that big drop. And that looked to be Cutie Pie's big shot. He could not answer. And now Blair again in control.
Boy, that knee lift must have scooped the Cutie Pie about 1.5 feet off the ground.
Captain Lou watching on along with Honey. And a great power slam by B. Brian Blair. Excellent tactician. Now this is that Scorpion. Combination, as you see, Honey and Captain Lou nodding their head with approval, knowing this could be the end. And yes, sir. The Scorpion does it again. That is such an effective move. What is it, Bruno, about that makes it so effective?
Well, the way he just took with his feet now, he put the pressure on the Ackerman quick, but the other times he scoops him up the way just like a Boston crab.
Our man on the spot, Herb Abrams, standing by with the winner.
I'm here with the three of you, B. Brian Blair, Captain Lou Albano, and Honey, I have to tell you, I personally admire you and give you courage for being able to come down here after that tremendous, vicious attack and blow that you suffered.
Well, thank you, Herb. Thank you. I knew what to expect when I came out here, but I'm here to watch Brian's back, and I'm going to stick with him all the way.
Brian, tell you, wait a minute, I'm going to tell you something, Herb. First of all, this lady was only doing her job, merely doing her job, when she was viciously attacked by that half-wit John Tolis and the other moron. But I'm going to tell you right now, 2 days from now, on the 9th, right at the Penta Hotel in New York, Brian Blair, you're my buddy. I'm going to be at your side. I don't know how much help I'm going to be, but I'm going to do my best to be there in your corner when John Tolis is in the other corner.
Captain, you're a real man. You're a real man, and I appreciate it. You don't find too many men like you. And Honey's got a lot of courage, but let me tell you something, Bob Orton. You take a good look. John Tolis, let me tell you guys something. Everybody's got to serve somebody. Whether you guys think so or not, everybody's got to serve somebody. So you mark the 9th down on your calendar, and when you get to New York, you make sure you show up, because I promise you I'll be there, and you will pay for every little pain that this little girl suffered, and a hell of a lot more.
Now remember, wait a minute, keep quiet 1 minute. I'm telling you on the 9th, I want all my fans to come on out and watch Captain Lou in the corner with my main man, B. Brian Blair. We'll be right there, baby. Tell him, Brian.
Now, Brian, you know Bob Orton did not show up several weeks ago when you were signed to meet him in a television match. What makes you think he's going to show up in New York City?
Because he has signed the dotted line, Herb. And you know as well as I do, once you sign the dotted line and you do not show up, the fine that is rectified against you is nothing that Bob Orton or that cheapskate, the Golden Geek John Tolis, want to dish out.
And may I say this, the officials of Universal Wrestling Federation have stated that if they do not show up, they will be barred for life from wrestling. So you know they're going to be there. I'm going to be there. All my fans be there. It's the night of the 9th at 7:30 at the Penta Hotel, and I'll be with my main man.
You know, I'm out there in the ring, and I'm doing exactly what I said I'm going to do. Taking care of business, taking care of Brian Blair, and all of a sudden I hear a roar in the crowd, and I figure, well, here comes old Honey Baby. She's going to come down and leave the ring with a real man. I turn around and look at the ugliest, fattest, sausage-looking thing covered with hair I've ever seen in my life, and I want to know what your business is from being there. That's all.
Man's not even a manager. He's not even a coach. He's nothing, not a trainer. All he has is a big mouth with a couple rubbers sticking down his neck. I can't understand it. He comes to the ring. Hey, Blair, why don't you get Orndorff? Why don't you get San Martino? Why don't you get everybody else in the corner? What's the matter? Can't you take care of business? You chicken? What's the matter with you? You get everybody, go ahead, take them all. And all of a sudden, Albano comes to the ring with that, whatever you call it, and look out. Hey. I'm a human being, man. If the kitchen's too hot, get the hell out! Hey, don't take everybody there!
B. Brian Blair with Captain Lou at ringside. Cowboy Bob Orton with John Tolis by the apron. Another fantastic match on the card at the Rumble in the Big Apple, Wednesday, January 9th at 7:30 p.m. at New York's Penta Hotel. Don't you dare miss it.
Hey, kids out there, the UWF merchandise is the talk of the town. Look at the Dirty Dares 5 T-shirt, the UWF T-shirt, and guess what? This is the most wonderfulest one of all right here. Mr. Wonderful. Even look at the hat, huh? Does he look like a champ or what? This is what it's all about. UWF merchandise right here.
Order now. Call 213-822-4187. All right, UWF, 702 Washington Street, Marina Del Rey, California, 90292.
This is the Golden Greek speaking, and when I travel in style, man, all the way. Look at this beauty. Look at this. The Midnight Express limousine. Beautiful, classy, first class, the ultimate in traveling. This is what the Golden Greek does. Travel in first class. Take a look at this. The Midnight Express beauty. Take a look inside. All the comforts of home. Television, telephone, a little refreshment, comfortable ride. What do you need? And it sits everybody comfortably. Remember, the Golden Greek tells you, Midnight Express limousine, the ultimate in limousine service. And if you heard it from the Greek, you heard it from the top man.
Glenn Miller's Pennsylvania 65000, a jazz classic, and the phone number to a New York classic, the Pennsylvania Hotel, now the newly renovated Penta Hotel. The Penta is located in one of New York's most dynamic areas, just blocks from the city's highlights, and across the street from Madison Square Garden. No matter what your needs are, Pennsylvania 65000 is the number for one of the most legendary hotels in New York, the Penta Hotel.
Well, Koloff is in the ring already and waiting for his opponent. And look at him. There he is. There's Steve the Wild Thing Ray. You know, this is going to be an interesting match, Greg. These two are so different, these two individuals. He likes that. Pretty girls in the audience. Ah, there's a little boy.
He likes that, too. He's a big fan favorite, as you can see. And I think he just made the night, maybe the life for that youngster. I mean,
yeah, but you know what?
People have a story to tell.
Right. We see this Wild Thing here, Steve Ray, and you look so happy. We commented last week. You always seem so happy and so forth. But I wonder if he can keep that smile when he locks
and fans, his opponent from Soviet Union, weighing 262 pounds, Ivan Koloff.
Stranger matchup in terms of two different individuals as you can get. And of course, in recent weeks, Koloff has not only won, but he has whipped his opponent with the chain.
He likes to do that, and he always does it. And it'll be interesting to see now what will happen in this match, really, because you know, Steve, listen to the people, USA, USA. He has shown us that this is a very talented individual, Steve Wild Thing Ray, because he can move well, he can wrestle, he's a gutsy guy. But again, has he ever faced the likes of Ivan Koloff? How will he respond to Koloff's tactics? That's what we got to see. Right now he's got a headlock on Koloff. Let's see what he does with it.
Good side headlock by the Wild Thing. No, really is. Oh, there's a fine hip lock. Really is two different generations, isn't it?
Absolutely, but look
different style.
Oh, sure. Drop kick, hey, but so far, very good. Koloff tried to hip toss the Wild Thing, and he reversed it, got him down nice, and arm dragged him, and then the drop kick, and hey, so far, so good. Let's see if he can keep it up.
You know, by saying that, you may think one guy is over the hill. Well, no siree. You take a look at Ivan Koloff, you immediately know that he may be a few years older than the Wild Thing, but he can still do it in the squared circle, and that's why he continues to be a success. Look at that move right there.
He's a tough old veteran, no question about it. No, he's not as young as he used to be. But let anybody who steps in the ring with him and see if what they have to say about Ivan Koloff, if he's getting any weaker or slowing down any. I got to say, I'm impressed with him. I'm very impressed as to the kind of match he's having so far with Ivan Koloff. You have to be impressed. You have to give him a lot of credit.
He's getting some encouragement from the fans. He's looking around. The referee says, no, sir. Koloff in trouble here. Wild Thing sizing him up.
Oh,
let him go.
How about that? I hope he doesn't regret that later.
Well, that's very, very unusual. Why let the guy go there?
You let him go. So, don't trust him.
Wild Thing says, should I? Friendship.
That would be a mistake. I guarantee you it'd be a mistake. Shake his hand and you
Looks
make
like
a
he's going to do it.
mistake. Be a big mistake.
Should he or shouldn't he? Koloff says yes. Oh, he turned his head. He got a foot right in the midsection. Now a big arm to the back.
That was so far in the match, that was the mistake that I saw with the Wild Thing, Steve Wild Thing Ray, to be fooled by that corny handshake by Koloff.
Koloff is now biting the Wild Thing.
Bad move.
And throws him out. His leg got twisted up in the rope.
Look at that. So tough.
Oh, boy, this could be trouble now. Oh, I always worry about that chain, too, when you're in a precarious position. Somehow Wild Thing's fighting off.
Right, he's got his foot locked up, and he can't move his foot. And he cut Koloff with his other foot and was fighting back. He's a fighter.
Still can't wiggle free. The referee's trying to help him out. Come on, ref.
Well, you know, those ropes are so tough, sort of, when you get them twisted like that. That's not easy to pry them apart.
So weight is leaning down on it, and that really
but you know what that's doing
the
to his ankle? That's putting a lot of pressure to the ankle. I mean, your ankle feels like it's going to snap. He's out. I hope he's all right, too.
He's out. The question is, what effect did it have? Koloff continuing to go right after him, hammering away with the big right.
Oh, he pushes the guy off his chair.
Turn around! Turn around! He stops him. Oh, he clocked him with the chair. And they're both out of the ring still now. Smartly, Wild Thing throws Koloff back into the ring. They were nearly counted out. Koloff still trying to shake off the big chair that hit him.
Oh, back drop.
And the drop kick.
Nice drop kick.
Wild Thing has recovered beautifully here.
I am impressed. I'm impressed with this guy. Steve Wild Thing Ray. You have to be impressed. Uh-oh.
Drop kick, did that ever land? You know, Koloff has taken about 3 or 4 punishing blows square to the chin in the last 30 seconds. Flying clothesline. Did he get him? Oh.
Whoa, close.
You know, ref a little bit slow in there. Count there.
That was close.
Man. Trying to suplex him. This is a tough man to get up there.
He does.
Yes.
Nice vertical suplex. He's going to go for the cover. This will
lateral crutch.
No,
is
he'll
that
kick
enough?
out. Whoa.
Kicked out. Well, you saw that. Why?
Well, see, he picked up his shoulder. He didn't kick off, but he did lift his right shoulder to stop the referee from a count of 3.
He really had the leg hook, Steve, did he? He's going to try it again. No, he's going to body slam him this time. Got to be impressed with the power of Wild Thing Ray picking up Koloff.
I think that people who are not too familiar with Steve Wild Thing Ray are going to be very impressed with him after this match. Win or lose.
Watch
Win
this.
or lose.
Oh! He landed him. Oh, Koloff turned him back over and got him. Oh!
That's a fluke. That is a fluke ending.
Oh!
What a match.
So disheartening for that man. I mean, so disheartening. He came back so many times. Look at the face. He knows he had him. And now he better turn around. Koloff has that chain. Come on, ref.
Come on. Look at this.
Koloff has the chain. He's going to try and clothesline him. He ducks under him.
He's got the chain.
And now he's got the chain.
Steve Ray's got the chain.
Great drop kick. He's got the chain, and Koloff making his own medicine here. He may get his own medicine.
He wisely threw himself out of that ring and gone.
A great turn of events by the former world champion. two will meet again at the Rumble in New York on January the 9th. Final details of that event and others when we return.
Attention wrestling fans, Thursday, January 10th, the UWF comes to the Queen's Theater. See wrestling greats Paul Mr. Wonderful Orndorff, Steve Dr. Death Williams, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Don the Rock Morocco, B. Brian Blair, Cowboy Bob Orton, David Sammartino, Ivan the Russian Bear Koloff, the Despicable Colonel De Beers, Iceman King Parsons, Steve the Wild Thing Ray, and many more. Friday the 11th. Party with the UWF at the Sports Bar on Broadway. Saturday the 12th, it's the UWF Wrestling Fan Expo at the Royce Hotel opposite LaGuardia Airport. Pictures, autographs, t-shirts, and great surprises. Saturday night, see matches with your favorite wrestlers at St. John the Baptist High School in West Islip. A blockbuster weekend of wrestling presented by the Universal Wrestling Federation. Call 516-587-4UWF for tickets and information.
Why does one person excel above all others? Is it motivation, raw talent, desire? Is it personal satisfaction, intelligence, luck? There's no magic formula, and there's really no secret. But there is Soloflex. Because Soloflex is designed and engineered with one thing in mind, your body's needs. And we've created the finest, most complete, and simplest system to attain those needs. With Soloflex, the reward is yours. For a free brochure, call anytime.
Time constraints prevented us from bringing you the Barry O. Chief J. Strongbow match, but we'll have that one at a later date. For one final time, here's the rundown on the UWF week in New York City. The Rumble in New York with great UWF stars like Steve Dr. Death Williams, Paul Orndorff, B. Brian Blair, Cowboy Bob Orton, Greg the Hammer Valentine, and many, many more. On Thursday, January the 10th, another great night of UWF wrestling. To find out where in New York and what time it begins, call 516-587-4UWF. On Friday night, a chance to meet your favorite UWF wrestlers at the Sports Bar on Broadway in New York City. It starts at 9 p.m., and it's a guaranteed once-in-a-lifetime thrill for all who attend. Full day of UWF wrestling activities on Saturday, January the 12th, beginning at 10 a.m. at the Royce Hotel in Queens, New York. It's the UWF Fan Expo. Autographs, pictures, and chatter with your favorite UWF wrestler. Then on Saturday night, it's the Rumble on Long Island. UWF Wrestling moves to St. John of the Baptist High School in West Islip, Long Island for a full night of pro wrestling mayhem. It all starts at 8 p.m. on Long Island. And remember, if you want to know everything that's happening in the UWF, where we're going to be, comments from the UWF wrestlers, and the latest UWF news, call the UWF hotline at 1-900-420-4UWF.
You can come out on TV land and you can yell and you can shout and you can holler. But I know in my heart what you did there on TV, what you and your partner did to that little honeybee. I know what went on, how you maimed a woman. And I know that you've been interfering in matches repeatedly. Now I'm coming to the Pentar Hotel on January the 9th, and I'm gonna be there solely with one intent in mind. That is, John Tolis, merely to watch you and to make sure that you do not interfere in any way. You got it?
UWF, the Universal Wrestling Federation, the ultimate in sports entertainment.